Hello YouTube. I am sure most of you have heard about the world famous site called the Stonehenge. However, you may not know the fact that there is an Armenian Stonehenge. And this is for sure. Do you want to know more? Let's uncover some of the facts about one of the most mystic places of Armenia. And of course, possible depictions of ancient aliens in that Stonehenge. We'll get to this hypothesis later. So, the misty and mountainous valleys of the South Caucasus have been host to human activity continuously for thousands of years. It is the country of Armenia that I'll speak about today. The Armenian highlands have been settled by human groups from the lower Paleolithic to modern days. And today, for example, the modern Assyrians, who traditionally speak Neo-Aramaic, but not Akkadian, they refer to the Armenians by the name of Armani. Actually, the pharaoh Thutmose III of Egypt, in the 33rd year of his reign, and that would be 1446 BC, mentioned the people of Armenian, claiming that in their land heaven rests upon its four pillars. The earliest form of the word Hayastan, which is a native name for Armenia, this is what they call themselves, might possibly be Hayasa Azi, a kingdom in the Armenian highlands that was recorded in the Hittite records dating from 1500 to 1200 BC. The earliest certain attestation of the name Armenia comes from the Behistun inscription around 500 BC in Iran. But we're going to look at much earlier times and secrets that have been preserved. And I'm sure more will be uncovered as the time goes by. The Armenian Stonehenge is an ancient observatory built in the Sunik province, not far from the city of Sisian. Perhaps this is one of the old stone observatories, if not the oldest among the ancient observatories. This Armenian monument is a prehistoric archaeological site located on a mountain plateau. The Hunch site is on a mountain plateau at the altitude of 1770 meters, I think 5,810 feet, and occupies the area of about 7 hectares on the left side of the canyon on the river Dar, a tributary of the river Vorotan. It is located on a rocky promontory near Sisian. Not only does the enigmatic Armenian Stonehenge predate the pyramids and its more famous counterpart in England by thousands of years, some of the rocks on the site depict curious beings with elongated heads and almond-shaped eyes. So this Karahunch, also known as Zorat's Karer or Armenian Stonehenge, well, we find a set of mysterious depictions which have caused controversial reactions ever since their discovery. The monument itself is stunning and located in the area of Armenia well endowed with natural beauty, making it an attractive journey for many tourists each year. So if you ever go there, you will know what to look for. But they have a lot more interesting places. So Karahunch is an ancient site, and yes, it does predate England's Stonehenge by at least 3,500 years, and the pyramids of ancient Egypt by staggering 3,000 years. Think about it. This ancient complex offers its visitors a number of strange carvings created by early civilizations that inhabited the region thousands of years ago. So, yeah, many of the visitors who go there, they do agree that this impressive ancient site is very similar to Stonehenge. This ancient site's main similarity lies in the curious circular patterns of the stones. Just like Armenia's counterpart in England, the true purpose remains a profound mystery for archaeologists who, in opinion of some people, are unable to solve the mystery of the stones. But there are different hypotheses. Different, actually they say theories, trying to explain what this ancient site was thousands of years ago are abundant. But the most accepted ones are that this ancient complex was either an astronomical or ceremonial complex. However, researchers cannot possibly know due to a lack of information in historic records. Armenian Stonehenge consists of similarly, like in England, roughly hewn boulders positioned in two elliptical overlapping circles. Interestingly, many of the boulders found at Hunch have strange holes carved through them, and yes, some researchers have even drawn similarities to the megalithic boulders discovered in ancient Egypt and their curious holes. The Hunch monument consists of the central circle, the north arm, the south arm, the northeast alley, the chord across the circle, and a separated standing stones. The site is rich with stone settings, burial cists and standing stones menhir. In total, 223 stones have been identified. There are also many unnumbered stones and fragments. The stones are basalt, eroded by time and covered with moss and lichen of many colors. The height of the stones above ground level varies from 0.5 to 3 meters, and their weights range up to 10 tons. But as if the age of the ancient observatory, its purpose and origin weren't mysterious enough, there are more incredible details which make this ancient site even more interesting. Among the numerous boulders found on the site, there are some with curious carvings on their surface. Some of the humanoid beings represented at some of the stones are eerily similar to modern-day representation of gray aliens. Some of the humanoid figures carved at Karanjun have elongated heads and almond-shaped eyes, and are depicted holding what appears to be some sort of artifact with wheels. So many of the Armenian boulders there have holes drilled through their tops, which led the researchers to believe that they were used thousands of years ago for astronomical observations. So what makes Hunch unique among the Armenian monuments, as well as among the observatories all over the world, is that fact of the holes in the stones. About 80 of the stones or rocks include a circular hole. These holes on the stones once more prove that this is an ancient observatory. Some of the stones are associated with the observations of sunrise and sunset. These holes guarantee the accuracy and stability towards the direction. According to some experiments, the stones are brought from the nearby gorge along the river called Dar. They say that the people transferred the stones with the help of woven ropes and draft animals. Sometimes it seems to be from the genre of a fantasy, and you feel astonished about how human power could implement such a hard and tiring job. Let's look at the name of Hunch. How it's interpreted. We will understand that it derives from two Armenian words, kar or kar, which translated means stone, and hunch or hunch, which means sound. Therefore, we understand that the name of the ancient site is translated to be speaking stones. This is related to the fact that the stones tend to whistle on windy days due to the number of holes drilled under different angles in prehistoric times. Other names are Dik-Karer and Tzitz-Karer, both of which means vertical stones. The site was officially named as Hunch Observatory by the parliamentary decree in 2004. Numerous expeditions have studied this ancient site. Not all agree about the origin and the purpose of the place, but that's science. In Armenia, Stonehenge and astronomy stand for the same meaning from 1994 to 2001, because the investigation was implemented by Paris Herouni and his research team. As a result, they concluded that Zorak Karer is the world's oldest astronomical observatory. So the most extensive research was carried out by Paris Herouni and by Elma Parsamyan of the Burakan Astrophysical Observatory, one of the main astronomy centers of the USSR. Herouni concluded that this ancient site was a temple with a large and developed observatory and also a university. She and her colleagues observed the position of the holes according to the astronomical calendar and established that several of them aligned with the sunrise and sunset on the day of the summer solstice. Now, as for the radiophysicist named Paris Herouni, he performed a series of amateur studies branching off Parsaminians using telescopic methods and the precession laws of Earth. He argued that the site actually dates back to 5500 BC, predating its British counterpart by over 4,000 years. He strongly pioneered for a direct comparison to Stonehenge, and even went so far as to etymologically trace the name Stonehenge to the word Kara Hunch, claiming it had Armenian origins. Well, Herouni proposed a number of interesting hypotheses and stated that some of the stones at the site mimic the biggest star of the constellation of Cygnus, Deneb. Interestingly, some even drawn similarities between the Kara Hunch Observatory and Göbekli Tepe in modern Turkey. For example, scientist Vahradyan suggests that Göbekli Tepe shows the map of the night sky and the constellation of Cygnus, which in the Kara Hunch Observatory represents the same constellation, mirroring the site. I talked about Göbekli Tepe in my videos about Turkey. Very, very interesting site. And the age of it, that reminds me about some discoveries in Russia. Anyway, Armenian historian Stepanos Orbelian, in his book History of Syunik from 1st to 12th centuries, mentions that in the Tsluk Yavalak region of Armenia, near the town of Syunik or Sisian, was a village named Karunch, which means stone treasure or foundation stones in Armenian. So I just wanted to tell you about another very interesting site, and there's quite a lot in the Caucasus Mountains. And you know, you take Georgia, you take Armenia, you take Azerbaijan, there's a lot. And I've seen some things in Georgia many years ago, and hope to travel and see the other two countries as well. Now it's very interesting, and I'm sure there'll be more discoveries, archaeological, when there's money to do it. Now I ask you to look at my video about the strange map of Mars, an ancient map, and the Armenian connection to it all. I believe you will like my investigation and consider it to be interesting. And if you can support my research, you can do so through the links in the description to this video. So stay tuned for more, please, and subscribe to my channel, tell others, and like my videos. Thank you.